Good morning. Ooh, that was hard. So, good morning. So, here it is. Look how beautiful that is. That is a beautiful white color. Of course, the jar is beautiful, and in this lighting, you can definitely see the color better. I know, right? Total vibe in here. This is a heavy candle. This is thickums. Just thickums. But anyway, smells good. It's a good cold throw. Like I was saying earlier, I don't have lids for these, and I think that's fine. Some people will say that like people's candles will have an excellent cold throw, you know, with the lid on. But if you really think about it, if you have a lid on and you take a lid off, then all of a sudden you're getting that smell in your face. So that's why people will be like, oh, it's an excellent cold throw. But in reality, you just opened up a bottle, and so that hasn't been open. A good cold throw is when you can pick up this candle and like literally just, I can smell this candle. Like, not after it's been held in place for a while and all that. But anyway, so this one is basically like a completely wooden wick candle. It's freaking massive. It's heavy. I have wooden wicks to try with it. I am going to probably not burn it until tomorrow. That would only be 48 hours. I'm a little impatient and I have to go to work in 72 hours from the time I did this, right? Yeah, tomorrow would be 48. So, but I do think I will burn one. I will make one more. This time still with the Coco Apricot Cream, but with either a Candle Science or a Flaming Candle fragrance. Just so I can, ooh, sorry, Pin. I just kicked my dog in the face, y'all. So I can compare the two fragrance oil types and distributors with this wax. So yeah. Anyway, so I'll be making another candle today for that. Today I'll probably use a pouring pitcher for it though, now that I know I want to do about 11 ounces in this candle. And yeah, and then I'm also going to keep making my holiday collection because definitely got off from that and only made a couple. Only made literally one scent yesterday. Bloop. And that was it. So I got all this table to fill up, which doesn't seem like a lot, guys, but it's actually a lot of space, and I need to move I need to move my unfinished unicorns out of the way. So much to do, so little time. Okay, bye. So let's see. I know I've got some Candle Science refills of things that need to be looked at, but I think I bought a couple of new ones in here that I want to check out. Because I think this one's Candle Science. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Like, truly don't ask me nothing. Let's dig into the box. Ooh, Cashmere Plum. Absolutely delicious. I use this one for the Chosen One fragrance. Delicious. Ooh. Library. Of course, you guys know I use Library for my library candle. I do blend this with something else to give it even more of that booky, library, delicious feel. Black Coral and Moss. This is such a delicious candle. I use this for crap. I'm blanking on the name and I'm like looking into my spot. I use this for To Be Continued, my To Be Continued candle. It smells so good. It's like the perfect mix of like earthy and masculine. Okay, come here. Oh, there's one on the side too. Hold on. Packed them in. Ooh, I think this is a new one. I haven't smelled this one. I don't use it at all. So this is a new one and I can't wait to try it out. I might use that today in my candle. Ooh, this one's also, it's not, I've made wax melts out of it with a sample and absolutely adored it. It's Mimosa and Mandarin. So, ooh, this one smells so good. It's like a great citrus scent. And I'm not even the most citrusy of a person. I'm definitely an earthy smell type of person. But this is a great citrus scent. Is that it? One more. And peppermint and eucalyptus, just an absolute staple in my collection. It's been there from the beginning, like library. It is great. I now do a custom blend with this one because the peppermint and eucalyptus, the peppermint in here is so strong that it's like you don't get the full eucalyptus and like stress relief vibes that it can give off. So I now blend this with something else to make it just all around just fantastic. So anyway, hi Barrett. So yeah, I think I might do something with this one today. Or I might do something with most of the Mandarin. I lied. I'm going to do something with Mimosa and Mandarin. It's been so long since I've done a citrusy smell candle. So I'm going to use that for my tester. So we'll be making another one of these today. But with a Candle Science fragrance. No, I could have done a Palo Santo candle from Virginia Candle Supply, because this one's really full and it smells delicious too. But got plenty of time to try things, guys. And who knows, still might, because I still might decide to do a wick test. A 1-jar wick test of regular wicks instead of wooden wicks. So anyway, I'm gonna go make some coffee, get some breakfast, and so we can let my wax all heat up so we can actually get some things done today. So welcome to my fragrance oil collection. It is extensive. I have a problem. I'm not willing to go to Fragrance Oil Anonymous for it though. Okay, bye. Okay, so we're back to testing. As you can see, I've marked this jar, so that way I know what I put in it. I've marked this jar, so I know what I put in it, and I will mark this jar when it's all said and done with. I put this in a pitcher. The last one, I all of a sudden had to go to the bathroom with this one, so it cooled down really cool and really fast. But it cooled down, and so I just marked it as a low temp pour because I didn't feel like heating it up again. And I marked the temp at which I poured it into the jar, and it automatically like cooled around the side. So this is just going to be interesting to see what happens next. And then I'm going to be standing here like Hawk to see what happens with this one, and if I can pour at the normal temperature that I poured the first one at. So that way, I mean, just different variables. A variable I didn't mean to test this go around, but had to adapt. So here we go. Okay, so good morning. It is the next day. I got stuck doing a whole bunch of computer work yesterday, so I didn't make more candles, more holiday candles. But first impressions of these candles. One. So this is the one that we did directly in the jar. Since it was poured nice and hot in the jar, it actually has some excellent glass adhesion to the sides. This was also just done at all the high temps, so that's good to try and remember that this was done at all the high temps. This one was poured really low into the jar. It's probably difficult for you to see, but it has not the best glass adhesion to the sides since it's cooled. It's pulling up from the sides here, but I like this depth of wax for these two candles, though I still could do 12. Both of these were poured at 11, and I just kind of like this depth because I know I'm not using lids for them, so I could go up higher and put a desk cover on. So this one was, the fragrance oil was added at a cool temp and poured at a very cool temp. This one, the fragrance oil was added at like 190 to 195. This one, the fragrance oil was added at like 170, 175, which is where I normally do for my soy candles. So, but then by the time I poured it, you know, by the time you stir, it gets super cool. So then it got poured at probably about 10 degrees hotter than this one at like 155. So that's going to be something I'm definitely going to have to play with, because, you know, all the websites are like pour between 180 and 190, and I'm over here like, how am I supposed to pour at 180 to 190 if after I add fragrance oil, you know, the fragrance oil isn't warm. And so once you add it, that temperature drops considerably. So that's definitely going to have to be played with, but we might burn test this one today. It'll only be 48 hours by the time I burn test this one, and some places say like 72 hours for the best like scent throw, but well, we might burn test all of them because really I'm wick testing them, and you know, we'll see how the fragrance throws too, but I'll definitely burn this one today. I haven't decided on these two, but yeah, they're so pretty. Okay, so I am trying to once again do better with making content again. We'll see how the rest of the year goes, but I'm starting to feel back to like my normal self, so there's that. Anyway, that was a tangent to say I'm going to Peach State Candle Supply. Peach State Candle Supply is down here in the Locust Grove, McDonough, Stockbridge area. They're still kind of up and coming. They're still trying to become a true candle supply, so a lot of the things that they have are very selective. Like right now, as they're still growing, they're really focusing on their jar collection, it seems to me, their jars and lid collection. So they're trying to be a great jar distributor for candle makers. They have like one or two types of waxes and a few fragrance oils. I wish that while they got their jars going, they would truly work on getting waxes. I mean, of course, I could just drive to Flaming Candle, which is where I get my soy wax from, because I can drive there and go pick it up. But instead of driving an hour, I could drive 20 minutes, and, you know, that'd be great. And either way, I don't have to pay for shipping costs, right? Right. Anyway, so I just sometimes, and I wish they would do Wicks and the like, because those things are just very helpful versus the constant, and then their jar selection is constantly changing or adding and subtracting, so it's hard to tell if I decide to start using jars from this company, will I be able to continue using jars from this company, or will I be screwed in the long run? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. But anyway, let's go down to Peach State Candle Supply. We tried to drop something off at the post office, and I got my nails done this morning. It had been a long time coming. I looked a hot mess, or my hands looked a hot mess, so at least this way now I can take pictures using my hands and not feel like they're a detriment to my photos. Anyway, let's go, because It's lunchtime and I'm getting hungry too. And then it will be time to go test those candles that we have been making with my new jars that I bought online from Peach State Candle Supply using their Abound credit they had a while back. So I basically got them almost for free. So, let's go! So here we are, your typical industrial complex for storage and the like. Now I've taken off my directions, so I don't even remember what suite they're in. So I'm truly reading doors right now. Oh, found it. Found the Peach logo. I found it. Oh, nope. It says Peach State Postal. Didn't find it. Keep driving. I probably should just turn back on my directions, huh? Okay, so I did not finish reading appropriately. This is the correct place. I should read the rest of the signs. Okay, I'm gonna go inside now. Bye. Should I ring doorbell? Oh, it's open. Ooh. So, I have all these Wick tester, these Wick sample kits, okay? So, I've got the Whisper Booster Wick and the Crackling Booster Wick. Both in 0.02. These are both good for apricot waxes, based off the Wooden Wick Guide. So based off the diameter of my jar, though, I need to use the 0.75. So I'm going to try the crackling one first, because that is the one I want. That's the one I truly want. And so in these packs, there's 4 of each size. I already know that I need the biggest one, the largest wick, so that's quite easy for me to figure out. But if I needed like a middle size, the way to use these packs is to take your wick, whichever size you need, and then line it up with this line here. And so that'll let you know that this is a 0.625 size for this one. And I need the 0.75 size for this one, which is the largest wick in here, which fills up the whole guide. Just if you didn't know how to use their wick sampling kits to tell the difference. Whew. And so for this test, as you know, we're just going to do the wick trying test. I forget what it's truly called. But essentially, we are going to put this in the middle of the candle and go from there. And not glue it down, so that way we can change it out and then later try the Whisper wick in the same size. So yep, could I use a skinnier knife? Yeah, probably. It's so creamy. Love it. Get off my fingers. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Just because now I'm going to take my wick. Which sometimes this is like a good or a bad thing with wooden wicks, because it's not doused in oil. Like these, like my candles here, you can see where when the wax was hot, you can see where like the wax and the fragrance oil soaked up that wick. So that's what's really going to help it burn. So now I'm going to use my heat gun and I'm going to melt the top back around it, which also hopefully will help get some wax up into that stick, because that's really what's going to help it burn. So basically what I did is I used my heat gun to try and melt down and fill in that gap that I used with my knife in order to act, so it acts like it's sitting in there. And because of that, by doing that, fills it in. We make sure we get that smooth top back, and you can't tell really how much wax is melted, but I melted a pretty good portion of it. And then that'll also help it, hopefully, like you can see it now, soaking up that wick. So now when I test it out, I should be able to get an accurate result of what I'm looking for. But doesn't she already look so beautiful with her wick in the jar? Just so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed already. I'm gonna let this cool down, and then basically I'm going to test it out, which means I'm probably gonna take it to a different area of the house, mainly because I don't want to be in my office today. So I'll have to take it to a different room and allow it to hang out in there. So yeah, I'll be back when this cools. So for this testing, I decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I feel like taking a relaxing bubble bath. So, oh, she's just a smidge off center. That's okay. I like taking a relaxing bubble bath. You know what that means? That means this beauty is coming with me for testing. So let's go, because you're coming with me too. Gonna get some bubble bath for old people. Got, of course, the classic Dr. Teal's, and we're gonna make our own concoction. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. I'm old. At least my body. Oh, that smells so good. At least my body feels it. Oh! Invigorating smells. I'll be listening to an audiobook, so I have my wonderful speaker my father-in-law got me. And I really want to light this right at the 45 mark for what time it is, just so it's easier for me to keep track of the hours for me instead of being like, I lit it at 3:42 and 30 seconds. It's just easier to say I lit it at this time. And then from the time I think it should extinguish, it would be bedtime, like true bedtime. But I think it would need to be over. There we go. Also, the fact that my lighter is purple this time is pure coincidence. Look at that. Purple, perfect lighting of the wick. We love to see it. Put you up. So with wooden wicks, the initial flame is always pretty high, just so you know, and then it evens out. So we'll hopefully that's what it's done. It's definitely trimmed low enough, so we'll see how this works for this size wick. Anyway, I'm gonna start my relaxing time. My bubble bath is coming together. I'm really excited. I've got wine, I've got a book, I've got a new candle. I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, so this is where we're at an hour in. I'm definitely gonna let it reach a full melt pool. It's not deep, so that's great. But it's already pretty wide. So I'm gonna keep seeing what it does for another hour. And we'll go from there. But it's not deep, so that's really good. So it's not tunneling down. But I'm gonna probably try and go down a size and see how that helps with the next burn I do of this jar. But I do want to see how long it takes to reach a full melt pool and how deep that gets. Okay, so it's been almost 2 hours with this. The hot throw is absolutely amazing. Like, it is filling up my bathroom, which is not a small area, deliciously. I'm just not liking really how it's, I mean, no, the wick height and stuff, that's actually perfect for a wooden wick. But it's not reaching the sides, it's not reaching close enough to the sides, because I don't mind, like, slight tunneling. Well, you know, tunneling's not the right word. Like, not reaching all the way to the sides, because the extra heat from the melted wax will help melt the rest of that. But this is just starting to tunnel and not continue to expand. So I don't think this wick is going to be the best option for me for this. But we'll continue to watch. Okay, so it's a new day, and I've decided to do a second burn test with this candle the way it is, now that I have more time. And I'm just gonna let this ride. It's been a few days since I made it, so even the hot throw should be incredibly stronger. But I do want to see if with second burn this will catch up, or at least this side will catch up, because it is just a tad off center. So if this side catches up, we might be able to make sure it's centered next. Truly centered. And get that going. So I'm gonna let this hang out, and I'll come back and visit it. Okay, so it's been burning for 5 hours. And I can live with this. I can live with this because it's caught up melting on this side, and it's starting to melt this all the way around. So this wick is shifted a little bit over to my right. So I think just making sure it's completely centered, I think will help this out a bit. But I'm still gonna try it as a double wicked with a smaller size for them, just to see if I like that a little bit better. So, but I'm still gonna try that in a different one. So I'll try that when I get back from my errands. Okay, so I went down and decided to go with this double wick decision. And we're gonna see how this goes for the rest of the night. They light beautifully. And we'll just see how this goes. They're not perfectly centered. Like, not perfect. This one could be a little bit. But it'll do for right now. Okay, bye. Okay, so it smells delicious, giving off a great hot throw, but this melt pool and speed is just way too fast. So I do like that it did reach a whole melt pool, so I might want to go down to the smallest size and try again from there.